Hey, I'm Blizzard Planet. This is Self-Friendship Podcast, where playfulness meets societal reflection. Through the lens of self-friendship, which I define as embracing, understanding, and enjoying oneself, I hopefully inspire you to critically think, creatively think, and optimistically approach life. Imagine this. You hopped on the band rocket, and now you're on Planit Butter, a world made of delicious, sparkly peanut butter. And an adorable disco ball of self-reflection is whirling around in her transforming convertible. Thanks for joining me in my 41st episode, where I'll be sharing my answer to last week's question of the week: how to come to terms with our hypnosis, a word replacement for routine, a note on retreats, a renew affirmation, a party of one, a note on boundaries, young and wise, 2 types of quitting, a perspective dance with mistakes, a note on potential, a self-friendship article snippet, love is easy, in love is self-friendship, and as always, a brand new question at the end for all of us to self-reflect and self-connect. And email me if you desire, selffriendshippodcast@gmail.com. Okay, last week I offered the perspective that conditioning is equivalent to hypnosis, hence the title of episode 40. I wasn't raised in New York City, I was hypnotized in New York City. And last week's question of the week was, where were you hypnotized and what is one way it influenced you? And as you just heard, I always invite you guys to email me your answers, and this time, 2 of you did. Yay! I'm so proud of you for your willingness to share. Thank you. Now I will read their 2 answers and then gift you mine. So the first guy said, I was hypnotized when I was born and raised in Germany. I'm an American Army brat, but spent the majority of my formative years on foreign soil and didn't move to the States permanently until I was between 11 to 12 years old. It influenced me because I witnessed firsthand the livelihoods of people who weren't devoted to a rat race like we are here. I've followed your posts for a few months now, and part of the reason why I believe the universe pulled me to them is because how you buck the trends and trapping of the programming society piles on us. Thank you. I look forward to the day I can confidently shed the burden of societal traps and just live my life on my own planet. Then he listed 2 potential names for his planet. Obsessed with that. And he said, I haven't decided yet. Love it. Again, thanks for all you do and keep it up. I honestly believe you are doing good work here. How fucking sick. Guys, we're making waves. Peanut butter waves. Sparkly peanut butter waves. Stick around. All right. The second answer we got was, so where was I hypnotized and what created it? He said, I was born into a family of Jehovah's Witnesses, which at my core knew it was off, very cult-like, with controlling families with the so-called elders. So as I aged and got into junior high school / high school, the grips of freedom was whirling like Blissy. and the rebellious Black hip-hop culture was thriving and seeding the minds of the white kids and friends that Black people should be this, especially when I had reading and writing challenge with enunciation. So I went running into this path, which my family wasn't good at expressing pain. As my mom was going through a degenerative disease since I was the age of 7, then it turned me to the world of sports. I snuck my way onto the soccer team for a year, and then I got onto the football team, which was really the big shift that I followed and had support as I went to play college and university. Hell yeah. As well, I started playing high school hockey quite the athlete, sir, as they rebooted the hockey program. So cool. Then you throw the challenges of women in there, and I was placed in this chaotic space. Great question, he says. P.S. The wordplay infinitesimally immaculate. Immaculate. I love that. Thank you for sharing. We've all got stuff, guys. All right. Now my answer to last week's question of the week, I said, I was hypnotized in New York City. One way it influenced me is the need for speed. Efficiency is a luxury in certain respects, and it's also not necessary in many respects. I learned how to be fast. I was conditioned, hypnotized to be fast. But innately, I've always tended to do a lot of things slowly because I actually enjoy savoring the moment. Like slow mornings, leisurely walking, long showers, eating slowly, chatting, you know. That's my answer. Yay! Okay, now moving and grooving. How to come to terms with our hypnosis. The best way to be able to come to terms with our hypnosis or childhood conditioning is to remember it's not personal. If we take it personally, we're caught up in our ego. While harnessing our ego can be valuable, is valuable, and I would argue necessary, but that's another conversation. Our ego is the thing that differentiates us from being just pure energy. For the sake of our self-friendship practice and therefore our evolution, the ability to be objective is imperative. When we can be objective about our own ego and hypnosis, we can treat everything as factual experiences and perspectives, creating the necessary space to process our life experience from a place that is detached from any belief. And that is the trick that allows us to effectively move forward and do so differently, which is required to shift our patterns, acting differently, observing, identifying, acting differently, and doing it all objectively. All right. Now, so much to do, so much time. There is no time limit. There is no timeline. There are time goals, but you have all your time in your world. What's the rush? There is none. Self-friendship is embracing, understanding, and enjoying ourselves. When we focus on ourselves and our own life, our own time, we can appreciate that everything in life is happening as it's intended to. When we continue to prioritize our own best interest, the experiences we encounter within our time are far more fun. Fun. We want to have fun. Life is awesome. Cool. Now, a word replacement for routine. Activities. I revisited my self-friendship article from June 12th, 2024, titled Routine Minus the Attachment. And in it, I express how rather than creating a routine that we must stick to, we can simply recognize activities that work for us and release the attachment to the order in which we perform these activities. Imagine feeling comfortable with your own personal routines being flexible and ever-changing. Integrating unpredictability within our personal routines sets the tone for our relationship with external forces in our life, forming a foundation of comfort in discomfort. The more we integrate the layers of the external world into our individual foundational development, the more mentally and emotionally resilient we become. We are adaptable, emotionally competent, intellectually stimulated creatures. Let's act like it, please. A note on the 3 core methods. A loving reminder, the 3 core methods to activating our self-friendship are boundaries, confidence, alignment. The note is respecting other people's 3 core methods. The more someone practices integrating the 3 core methods into every moment, the more they naturally respect others who are also honoring their own boundaries, showing up confidently, and aligning with themselves. This creates a foundation for harmony, living in harmony with ourselves. Blissy, short for blisserance, which means living in harmony with oneself. If you're new here, Blissy is the queen of the world of Planit Butter. Yay! Okay, next. Okay. I love recording this podcast. I wish I could see my face because I'm just talking to a camera. I'm like, hello? Are you there? Jordan? Blizzard? Planet? Where is she? Okay, I'm right here. All right, a note on retreats. Retreat is defined as withdrawing from something. But when I say retreat, these days, you probably picture a group of ladies frolicking in some faraway land together. I fully support that if it's your thing. Also, I'm sure men do it too. I just feel like, at least I think about just like women going on retreats for some reason. So I fully support that if that's your thing. But it really shouldn't be called a retreat. Sure, technically, people are withdrawing from something to go, as per the definition. But the whole event is anything but a retreat. It's more like an extended period of hyper socializing on somebody else's schedule. Again, if that's your thing, that's cool. But hear me out. At some point, all Planit Butter will host a retreat, and I'll call it Isolation Together. TM. Have you guys ever seen the movie The Love Guru? In the beginning, he's like giving all these acronyms, and he just keeps saying TM. Check it out. It's a funny movie. Okay. So I'll call it Isolation Together. Everyone would be required to operate independently in whatever way best suits their body and mind. Before coming to the event, the retreat, the Isolation Together, we would survey to ask your favorite childhood activities and any new activities you've wanted to try. There would be a Planit Butter pizza and butter bar, as seen in the coffee table book with the lesson, Party of One. It's an organic fusion restaurant with various areas of the restaurant having a vibe shift depending on the cuisine. We'll have a variety of different activities accessible based on the surveys. When you come, the only rule is to do whatever you want, whenever you want, based on your intuition. Take notes as you go on what you do, observations of yourself, any patterns or stories that develop, and see what unfolds for you during your time. At the end, we'll all come together to self-reflect and self-connect. See who crossed paths and who didn't. Reflect on what each person we did cross paths with mirrored to us, what stories developed, and what we learned about ourselves and others in the experiences. Let me know what you think. Isolation Together. Now, a renew affirmation. Because this isn't new, I made it up a while ago in a Planit Butter Instagram reel. It's not too good to be true. It's not too good to be true. People, life is amazing. And sometimes we can psych ourselves out of amazing things because we build up self-doubt, disbeliefs, imposter syndrome, all that. But it's true. It's so good. It's true. Cool. Now, a party of one. As a loving reminder, party of one means having fun with oneself, for oneself, as oneself. Anywhere, everywhere, no matter who's there. We become our party of one by consistently practicing self-friendship. Each episode, I share little tidbits from my life that happened thanks to me showing up in the world as my party of one. So the recovery spa that I go to, sauna, ice bath, all that fun stuff, hosts a monthly outdoor movie night. It's super awesome because you hang in a pool, floaty, watch the movie or a beanbag, whatever. And this month's movie was I Love You Man, a great comedy if you don't know it. I wish I were exaggerating when I say I was the only person laughing out loud during the movie. I will never understand people who withhold their emotions during a movie, especially a comedy. I Love You Man is a comedy. The creators want us to laugh out loud. Also, on that note, I want to acknowledge that I've been laugh shamed my entire life for laughing very loudly, and now I'm getting paid for it. Who's laughing now? Still me. Cool. Because I show up as my party of one, having fun with myself, for myself, as myself, anywhere, everywhere, no matter who's telling me to shut up. Ooh, silly lady. All right. A note on boundaries. Boundaries, as a reminder, is the first core method to activate your self-friendship. Sometimes we have to set boundaries that we don't want to set, and sticking to them can be really challenging. But that's the thing with self-friendship. We are not always doing what we want to do. We're doing what's in our own best interest. I'd venture to say the most empowering boundaries are the hardest to enforce. And I'm just going to let us sit in that for a second. The most empowering boundaries are the hardest to enforce. And again, when practicing self-friendship, we are not always doing what we want to do. We are doing what's in our own best interest. Sit with that. Okay. Young and wise. In the honor of self-friendship, I want to hold space for a moment to appreciate my wisdom and acknowledge my youthfulness, because it's an interesting combo to be so wise and have only 28 years of life experience. I also think the naivety of my youth serves in the ability to embody my wisdom. Yay me. That's hilarious that I included that. Okay. Sometimes I write things and I don't remember writing them. And then I'm like, wow, you're hilarious. Okay. Woo. A note on mental prep. I observe this about myself in my self-reflecting and self-connecting ways, and I'm excited to share it with you guys as a consideration for you and your ways of operating in your self-friendship practice. So, when I do work that requires a lot of my mental energy, as in the type of work that I'm capable of doing, but it does not come naturally to me, but I do it for Planit Butter because I'll do anything in Planit Butter's best interest. For that type of work, I require so much mental prep time. And when the time does come, I have to ensure that I do something that's before and after that is of absolutely no similar brain power, because otherwise it's game over. And so afterwards, especially, again, it's like there's a buildup before of like recovery before I do the thing, and then recovery after. And I know that's funny to say. I think it's funny. Recovery before doing it doesn't make as much sense, but it's like a pre-recovery recovery. There's a word for that. I can't think of it. Oh God. Okay. It's like a preventative care for my brain. Oh God. We got this. All right. So the point is, I wanted to just offer you the consideration that when you know you have to do something that you're not natural at, but you want to do it because it's in your best interest or your work's best interest or whatever it may be, make sure that you do something completely different before and after so that you actually have the energy and clarity to do the thing that you want / need to do. Hope it's helpful. That was a little rough. Okay. Now, self-friendship article snippet, localize, even when passing through, because we always are. June 19th, 2024. Curiosity parallels travel, an adventurous mind. Our souls are eternal wanderers. Our body is its transportation. Our brain is the navigator, and our intuition connects us to the universe. Our landscape. Travel is defined as going from one place to another, typically over a distance of some length. Societally speaking, it's typically referred to as going from cities, countries, or regions. As I see it, life is a perpetual state of travel, always going from one place to another, regardless of the length. As per the definition, typically over a distance of some length. Some length. I love these little details because it makes me giggle to be super literal. Some length is the distance between your kitchen and your bed. Some length is the distance between your bed and the moon. Traveling. Now take this literal interpretation of the term travel and perspective dance with me. If we are equal parts perpetually traveling and perpetually localizing, we are inviting ourselves to grow. We are honoring our self-friendship, the daily practice of embracing, understanding, and enjoying ourselves. Local emotion, a Blizzard's dictionary term. The action of perpetually localizing ourselves. It embodies a state of openness, exploration, curiosity, and depths. The more comfortable we feel with immersing ourselves and localizing ourselves in new places, the more comfortable we become with exploring new parts of ourselves. Our brains are programmed with our thoughts, our experiences, and our thoughts about our experiences, which becomes our perception. The more new experiences we expose ourselves to, and the more willing we are to localize in the new experiences, the more we naturally are rewiring our brain and creating our desired self, our planet. Yay. Now, a note on ideas. I personally choose to see the concept of inventing as anything we create by way of our own line of thinking, regardless if it already exists. If our own thinking arrived us to something that already exists, obviously it's a great idea. That doesn't change our invention. Our thought process led us to that idea. It just changes the need or desire to take further action. Now, two types of quitting. There's quitting out of disempowerment and quitting out of consciousness. When we quit from disempowerment, it's rooted in stagnation, like being stuck. Stagnation. But when we quit from consciousness, it's rooted in empowerment and is actually pivoting rather than quitting. And now another party of one. The place I go for aerial yoga is on the beach, and it's about an hour beach walk back to my villa, so I always walk back after class. This super cute handmade hat stand I've always had my eye on, and the other day it was finally time to indulge in gifting myself one. I didn't have enough cash, and beep, the bank transfer wasn't working, and so Mary, the queen of the hats, that is the designer, creator, so cutely offered to drive me to the ATM. I love an adventure and a cute little story. So I was in. We leave the beach and the hat stand. Note the level of trust and comfort that exists in Bali. This could be the whole world if we all keep practicing self-friendship. All right, back to the ATM. We go to the ATM, giggle and woo the whole way there, like on scooter. We're like, woo, because why not? Get the cash, drive back to the beach, kiss the hats with the cash. We called it cash kisses. Hugged, and then I carried on my way, wearing my new beach hat. Party of one. Cute. Now, little self-friendship in action. So, the Planit Butter jet hasn't landed quite yet. It's on its way. So while I was on my recent commercial flight, I was sleeping in a very funky position and I crushed my foot so hard it was entirely numb. My self-friendship practice was literally saying to myself, I have a fully functioning foot and toes. I have a fully functioning foot and toes. And I also massaged my calf to get the blood circulating. And I squeezed the skin between my thumb and my pointer right here. Because when I was little, I read one time that can relieve headaches quickly because it just like causes the blood to circulate fast. So I thought I'd try it with my foot and it worked. So self-friendship tips. All right. Now a perspective dance with mistakes. Sorry, I forgot to do the boogie perspective dance. All right. You didn't make a mistake. You did what you were meant to do in that moment, even if it's not what you originally intended to do. It was meant to be that way, so therefore, it wasn't a mistake. It needed to happen so that whatever happened following it, whether directly or indirectly, could happen. And we, if we're practicing self-friendship, learn about ourselves in the given context and demonstrate to ourselves and the universe our willingness to upgrade. You know it. Such is life. It's kind of difficult to come to terms with, but it's really powerful when we do. We can ditch regret, self-criticism that's not constructive criticism, and any other mean stuff about what maybe momentarily felt like a mistake. Now, a note on potential. We all have potential. Self-friendship is actualizing it. Consider it. Well, since you're here, you're already considering it, so yay you. All right, a note on products we use. We truly should not be using products on our bodies that say don't swallow or, on our bodies. It should not say don't swallow or if you get this in your eyes, call the ambulance or whatever. I say this because I sprayed my facial sea spray cleanser, not cleanser, it's a sea spray. It's like a refresher thing into my eyeball by accident, and it felt good. While that might partially be because I show up in the world as my party of one, so I don't know, probably. It's basically unheard of, and that's a problem. More people should be able to accidentally spray shit into their eyes and have it feel surprisingly good. That said, the things we are putting into our bodies and on our skin that goes into our pores and absorbed at the cellular level of our bodies really need to be things that actually feel good to our bodies, not things that are extraordinarily hazardous to our well-being. All right? That's the Planit Butter version of that. All right. Now a self-friendship article snippet. Love is easy. In love is self-friendship. September 2nd, 2024. It's commonly discussed that we need to love ourselves first before entering a healthy romantic relationship. On Planit Butter, I'm here to offer, through the lens of self-friendship, we actually need to be absolutely fucking enamored with ourselves, utterly in love with ourselves, that the only possible upgrade, expansion, is another human who is equally enamored with themselves. This creates a united expansion of one another. It exposes us to parts of ourselves that are simply not accessible on our own, fueling even more of our self-friendship practice. 1 + 1 = 8. One human practicing self-friendship plus one human practicing self-friendship equals infinity. Expansion. 8. A partnership. How do we become absolutely fucking enamored with ourselves? Utterly in love with ourselves? We focus. A Blizzard's dictionary term. F-O-K-I-S-S, which means giving our full attention towards something we love. Focus, the English dictionary term, which means pay particular attention to, is inevitable. While focus is inevitable, focus is a conscious choice. When we take responsibility for what we focus on, what we learn, and focus ourselves, we perpetually upgrade and therefore evolve at the highest possible frequency, which I call a party of one, having fun with ourselves, for ourselves, as ourselves, meaning we will inevitably become enamored with ourselves, in love with ourselves. As our foundation of self becomes unshakable, the only possible upgrade, expansion, becomes romantic love. Becoming in love with another human being who is equally involved in their self-friendship practice, enamored with themselves, in love with themselves. This upgrade invites us to an elevated depth of our existence, experiencing new layers of ourselves we simply cannot access without a powerful romantic connection. This is redundant intentionally, guys. Without a powerful romantic connection, who effortfully embraces, understands, and enjoys us, respects our boundaries, admires our confidence, and aligns with where we are while supporting us with where we're going, and vice versa. Again, the 3 core methods are boundaries, confidence, alignment. We all have, are, and desire love. That's natural. That is effortless. Self-friendship is becoming in love, not having love, not being love, not wanting love. That is already within us. Become in love. Become holds space for the work required, the focus, the learning, the focus. In holds space for the energetic space for active participation. Love holds space for what we naturally have, are, and desire. 2 souls so full of themselves, they overflow into each other. To be in love is an inevitable upgrade, expansion, accessed through the dedicated practice of self-friendship. Now the question of the week, and I'll give more context for this next week. What type of sunglasses person are you? Dark shades or light shades? And why do you think that is? Email me your answers, selffriendshippodcast@gmail.com. I'm going to give myself a hug. You did great, girl. Thanks. Cool. To be notified of new episodes and receive more playfully helpful content, sign up for Planit Butter publication. The link is in the show notes. And the world's first coffee table book with a lesson, Party of One, Self-Friendship in Action, is where the world of Planit Butter comes to life through really crazy, cool, trippy art that I made. And Blissy, the disco ball of self-reflection, bops around, seeing friends and making new, all while having fun with herself, for herself, as herself. The hardcover is available internationally on planetbutter.com. Please continue to enjoy and review. It's super helpful. Thanks for landing on Planit Butter. I'll see you next Thursday. From my planet to yours, Blizzard.